Austin, Fargo. How you doing, sir?
Good.
Austin, Fargo. Nice
Joe,
to meet you.
nice to meet you, Austin.
Mind if I take a seat?
Go ahead.
Also, I have my business card just in case, or just for after if you have any questions or
Okay, thank you.
any concerns.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Brings you in today, Austin.
Just coming to talk to you. Did you have a tough time getting here?
Yeah, Houston traffic. I kind of missed the COVID days. I like just doing it from my kitchen table, but they want us back in the office now, so sacrifices we make.
Yes, sir. It's definitely nice, but I do kind of appreciate the ability to be in the office and make those connections and just kind of be closer with your team. Would you say that's something that y'all are as a company, is kind of focused on having a big relationship with your team members and people you do business with?
Well, our talent's our best resource, so it really is. That's the good thing about being in the office. You get to connect with people and build those relationships. So yeah, we're all about that. So it's important. Just the traffic's a pain every day, but it's a
Yes, sir.
price we pay for living
I mean,
where we live.
I'm from the area. I completely understand it. It takes you about 45 minutes to get 15 minutes depending on the time of day.
Yeah.
But that's the best place in the world to do business, is right there in Houston. So
Yeah, some days.
every once in a while.
Yeah.
How would you say that y'all's company, and more specifically your team, is about adopting new technology? Is that something y'all been open to in the past? Or?
Yeah, it's kind of you got to in this world, so we got to find new ways to do it better. It's do it more efficient, do it better. We got to keep our costs under control. The margins we're operating on here is thin, so we're just facilitating a service, right? We're matching people up with properties and services, and so it doesn't leave a lot of room for us to charge for that. So we got to do it efficiently.
Yes, sir.
And we got to do it better than other guys.
Well, I think that's where my product that I'm here to talk to you about today can kind of benefit the whole industry. Obviously, AI, computer technology, is taking over the world. If you think about 10 years ago, when you're in the same business that you're in, you're looking at your locations on a map, and now the technology is how everybody does everything. And more specifically, when it comes to customer outreach, it comes to legal uses, everybody's starting to have to adopt new types of technology to keep themselves relevant. And so what I have here today is a business-focused AI software that's used in pretty much any sort of messaging that you may need, whether that's coming up with legal documents, letters of intent, or just simply writing an email or a memo. And it's going to sit just at the top of your ribbon on any sort of browser or software that you have, and will provide you with revision suggestions based on, is this legally sound, or is this as professional as you would want it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I'm tracking with you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that's going to be revolutionary for the industry. And the main thing that we're trying to push is, like you said, efficiency is key. So I brought just a simple graph comparison, as if you were to use one of the other AI softwares, at just the average amount of time it would take you to just rephrase a simple email. And if you look, our product is business focused, is quite a bit quicker, and that allows you to take the time that you have, the limited amount of time, to really push for the things that you need to do, and not spend tons of time constantly going over emails, going over memos, just making sure that you're up to date.
Sure.
And also another thing that's great about our business is just the overall accuracy. One of our best features is that it tailors itself to your needs personally. You can set suggestions saying you're writing an email about this type of client, and it grows to your needs over the time, and it will tailor it to what exactly you want. So for an example, and I can leave you with this later so you don't get stuck reading a book, but it's just a simple email that's revised by ChatGPT. They do a good job. It's a good program, but it really doesn't provide the clarity and the professionalism that you would want to try to connect you with a client. Whereas if you look at our revision, again, not to make you read a book, but just something as simple as an LOI, a letter of intent. You may be communicating with somebody that isn't as familiar with the certain terminology because they're just a tenant trying to get in a location. So it understands that and is able to rephrase the term and leave it in parentheses for future conversation.
There's one question I would have. I mean,
Yes, sir.
when we talked about it, man, I love my team. I think they're the best out there. I think they're industry top, so I think that's a competitive advantage for us. And I'm a little hesitant, like if everybody's using this type of platform, how do we differentiate ourselves? We're all gonna sell the same.
Well, it's not as much that you're not differentiating yourself. I would say by not adopting to a type of technology like this, you will be differentiating yourself, but it may not be in the way that the industry is growing, because you're close with your team, everybody's confident in their team, but talent can only carry you so far whenever the industry is shifting and changing constantly, and that's been the challenge for everybody to keep up with, and that's kind of been our niche, is we can come in and help the industry grow while we grow ourselves, so it's a mutual relationship. And since you are so close with your team, I kind of want to hope by doing business with y'all that we also become kind of part of the relationship that you know from your team. So I'll leave this with you as well, but this is just our customer service team, because I understand that y'all are a talented team and this is a new technology, so there's definitely some hiccups and challenges when it comes into adopting that. And this is just a list of our service team that would be dedicated directly to you. They are some of the best in the tech industry, in my opinion, and by the time you end up working with us, if we come to that conclusion, they'll be almost like they're part of your team. You will over time grow the same relationship that you have with your people, hopefully with our people.
Where are these people based out of?
All of these people, I myself went to Texas A&M University, so all these people are Aggies, and I noticed your ring. What year did you graduate?
I'm class 97.
All right.
It's been a minute.
It hadn't been that long ago. Come on, don't age yourself. But these people all are Aggies, so they believe in the same core values of the university and kind of the same core values that we like to have at our company as well.
Working with Aggies, are they local? Am I gonna get to meet these people? You know, relationships are important to me.
Yes, sir. Because this is the tech industry, a lot of our communication is through online, but they're all based out of Houston, as we are a Houston-based company. So if you needed somebody to come over, drive to the office, help you install the technology, or really branch you and teach you into a different area, they're more than willing at any time to come help you with that.
Pet peeve of mine is just hanging on a call center for a long time. So yeah, I like somebody to come in there and fix my problem.
Yes, sir. I completely understand. And another thing is, although relationships are important, and I understand that that's an important buying strategy for you, but costs run the world, as you said. And obviously there is cheaper alternatives for AI out there. I will be the first to tell you that is a thing. But what separates us is really the quality and the amount of money that you're saving by joining our team. So especially with legal, I'm sure, do you spend a decent amount of time coming up with legal drafts?
Way too much time talking to lawyers.
I myself don't like to talk to lawyers either. So these are all public companies, though we have kept the names confidential. This is just a simple comparison. In 3 years before, these 4 companies joined on with our product, and 3 years after. And in almost every case on this graph and in general, legal fees have been cut in half, because you don't have to spend near as much time constantly going back and forth with red lines and negotiations, because you type up a legal document, the revision is checking out to make sure that you're legally sound in what you're saying. So it helps with efficiency, helps with cost, and it's just overall a beneficial thing to have.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. I mean, we're still a relatively small company, so we don't have in-house counsel, so we're farming that out. So
Yes, sir.
I like my lawyer and all. I like to play golf with him, but I don't want to put his kids through college.
Well, I like to play golf too. I can't say I'm much of a golfer. I like to chase balls and reach in the water to pick out more whenever I run out by the 3rd hole, but I try. Well, but overall, I mean, is there any other questions that I could help assist you with?
I mean, what is the cost, turnkey cost of implementing the solution?
It's a subscription-based model, yearly subscription, $250 for the year, and that's going to cover 10 units just to get y'all started with your smaller team, so that y'all can try it out, get comfortable with the software, and if that was something that y'all liked in the future, then we could push it forward to other parts of the company and just continue to grow. But I figured that a good way to start would be with a closer knit team, so y'all can compare it amongst yourselves and see how you like it.
Okay, now $250, that's for for 10 people?
$250 per unit,
Oh,
so it
per
would be
unit.
a $2,500
Okay,
charge
that's
over
still
the year.
pretty cheap, yeah, in the grand scheme of things.
And when you're looking at saving,
Well, my lawyer bill's $500
I was
an hour,
gonna
so-
say, when you're dealing with bills like that, something as simple as this to make that much of a difference
Okay.
has been it's been one of our great parts.
Yeah, so, you know, if I expand it to the broader team and just say we get up to the full team and in a year it works great and we have 100, is there any type of price break I get if I have 100 versus 10?
There is. So at the current moment, there's 250 for that 10, just because it's a smaller number of units. As you scale up, I think once we get to 50 units, if you were to buy 50 subscriptions, you would cut that down to $150 a prescription, which is a pretty good jump in units. So obviously we'd be more familiar with your team and kind of how you do business, so the AI would just continue to grow and become cheaper on our end
Okay.
to keep up with.
You know, it sounds good. It's relatively low risk. I think the price is fair. Let's give it a whirl. Let's
Yes,
get
sir.
something set
I
up to get
appreciate
it implemented.
Thank you. And are you the sole decision maker in this, or do we need anybody else for?
I'm him.
You're the guy?
Yeah, I'm the
All
guy.
right. Well, I appreciate doing business with you. I can get you a sales proposal next week.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.